Good evening, everyone. This is John Locke, and welcome to the Locke in Your Success Trade and Market Update for December 1st, 2013. Before we get going, we'd like to remind you, presentation is for educational purposes only. We're not broker-dealers or financial advisors, and we are not making any specific trade recommendations. Also, any trades and or results covered in the presentation may or may not be live trades. In the event something is computer simulated, we do the best we possibly can to make sure it's as accurately represented as possible. And also, the risk of loss in trading options can be substantial, so please be aware of all your risks prior to placing any trades. If you're watching this on YouTube, please come on over, visit our trading blog at lockeinyoursuccess.com and join our mailing list. Okay, let's take a look at the markets here. Here we have the Russell 2000, and if you remember last week, we were sitting here right at our resistance level. Weren't sure if the market was going to continue up or roll over. Obviously, we broke out on Tuesday, and we continued up for the rest of the week. Now, we were saying that we do have some longer-term resistance area around 1135, or to put that more accurately, a longer-term profit target of between like 1135 and 1140-ish. And one of the things with our longer-term targets is they're always a range. So if I'm saying 1135, we're looking at like 1130 to 1150. Anyway, we're certainly up in that area. We have our short-term targets here. If the market continues to do what it has been doing, we have our shorter-term targets here at 1165. And also on the Russell, just so you're aware of it, we have our very long-term target of 1350, which is way up in here. Obviously, that is not going to be a concern for this month or next month. But just be aware that up in that area is where we're likely to see a major market turn if we ever get there. But for now, I am expecting this to roll over at any time. We may continue and push a little bit higher into here. We may continue to head up into to our short-term target to 1165. That's possible. You have to remember that this is December, and traditionally December is a very bullish month, and that may cause us to exceed our longer-term target of this 1140 area. However, oftentimes those longer terms hold, so we're kind of in limbo here waiting to see what's going on. I would say if we get to 1165, that's a very, very good short for the Russell, or at least some kind of a bearish vertical spread, bearish butterfly, excellent trade if we get up into this range. So just keep that in mind, that there's a lot of opportunity if we actually get that high. I'm not convinced we're going to do that yet. I'm still thinking that we may roll over a little bit before that. If we take a look at the SPX, one of the things I did, unfortunately, is I deleted all my drawings on the SPX, which happens occasionally. It's really easy to touch that button. But I do have a target on the SPX of between 1815 to 1813. That's another 10 points. That will also tie in with the Russell going to approximately 1160. So another reason for a short if the market actually does get up that high. If we look at the Dow just looks like the most bullish of the indices. We had this nice sideways consolidation. Its targets are actually higher. So this here is just plain bullish. The NASDAQ is overextended. I had some high targets up in this area. Let's see what I have. I have 3,500 for the NDX. So we're at 3487. We were a little bit higher intraday. It looks like the NDX is about topped out here. I wouldn't be expecting the NDX to go a whole lot higher, but it's been surprising us. I actually didn't really think it would exceed 3450 this month, but it did continue to push up. And like I said, you have to remember and appreciate the fact that December is traditionally a bullish month, and things may push their targets a little bit hotter. So in general, we're due to roll over at any time. If we do get higher, makes an extremely good short on all of the indices. All right, let's take a look at our positions. And we can start with the January Bearish Butterfly. This trade started out with our short strikes down here at 1100, and we sat there for a little while. We have been pushing a delta theta ratio in this. We are actually pushing it towards the end of last week, where we were out of whack with our delta theta ratios. Certainly by Tuesday we were out of whack with them. But I just figured I'd hold the position at 1100 until we had hit an add point, and then I would roll and then add. So I ended up rolling our 1100s up to 1120, adding our 1140. Position's down slightly, $390, which is absolutely nothing for a bearish butterfly. If we take a look at our analyzed graph, you can see we're very nicely positioned here. If the market shoots up a little bit further, we may end up having to do a delta theta roll by the guidelines. I'm not sure. I would tend to resist doing that because I do think we are topped out by 11 to 65. It would be nice if we get this last third in here and the market backs into range. It would make a really nice January. As far as our T-log, I'll just quickly show that here. We can see the roll. I ended up doing it on Friday because if you remember, it looked like the market was going, it could have a fairly decent day on Friday. So fortunately it backed off, but this is the current position. Let's take a look at our January V condor. This trade got no adjustments. We've just been kind of sitting here. We're down about $49 because we did have a fairly aggressive move this week. Our delta is around minus 80, which is getting close to an adjustment point. But this is how we're sitting here. Obviously, if we hold this 960 or 965 area, this trade will be no problem at all. We will be battling back some of these shorts with any kind of a decent up move. So I usually only check this towards the end of the day, especially this far from expiration. So this probably went over 100 delta intraday on Friday, but I really wasn't paying attention to it till towards the end of the day. So here is what we look like, and all is good. So let's take a look at our December M3 trade. This trade did get some adjustments this week. If we come back to, I waited till Friday though, but if we come back to just Wednesday afternoon, and of course the markets were closed here, but I just want to show you the position. We had 10 long 1030s, 10 short 1080s, 10 short 1090s, 10 long 1130s, 1 long 1070, and we had this 1080 1100 call vertical in here. What I ended up doing is, instead of rolling the whole butterfly up, I ended up doing this stretch move, or just stretching this out. I took these 1130 longs, I rolled them all the way up to 1160, and then I moved our 1090 shorts up to 1140, and I got rid of this call vertical in here. And I held this 1070 call. So if we come to the end of the day on Friday, you'll see our longs up at 1160 and our shorts at 1040 here. The lower leg remained the same. This call vertical up here is gone. And here's our long call. Position's feeling the heat. Feel the aggressive move last week, and I was very slow adjusting it. So we are minus 76 delta, so I'm carrying a little bit more negative delta than I like. But here is what the position looks like. We still have plenty of downside protection. If the market doesn't back off, I may end up rolling this backside back up, making this into more of a butterfly-ish type of a position. But for right now, I'm happy with where we are now. If we take a look at, oh, and here's the T-log for when that stuff was done. So let's go over to our December V condor. This trade got no adjustments either. We were pushing our negative delta numbers, I think, at some point during the day here, but like I said, I'm typically not going to look at this intraday unless something really crazy is going on in the market. And here is what the position currently looks like. If we continue to go up here, we'll start buying back some of these shorts. If we continue to creep, this will do pretty good. If we actually come to the 1165, I'm going to have to buy back quite a few of these. I may end up getting rid of the straddle. We'll have to see how this plays out. It's unlikely we're going to roll this, but we shall see. So that's the position as of right now. And we'll shoot over to the December ROCK trade. We had a fairly active week in the ROCK trade. And we take a look at our T-log on the 26th, which was Tuesday. We added in a total of 5 1150 call butterflies. And on Wednesday, we came in and added 2 more 1150 call butterflies, and then we began to scale into our 1170s. We bought 3 of those. On the 29th, we came in and we did another 3 1170 call butterflies. So we're almost fully scaled into the position. We currently have 6 of the 1170s. We can put 4 more of those in if the market continues to go up. And we have our 10 1150s and 10 1100s. If If we take a look at our analyzed graph, it looks like this. The position is pretty much right in the center because we backed down towards the end of the day on Friday. But obviously if the market stalls here, this will recover quite quickly and be doing quite well. And let's see, what do we have left? If you take a look at the December bearish butterfly, this was an active week for this trade as well. If you remember, we were sitting at 1100 for quite some time. We were pushing our maximum delta last week, or the week before last, I should say. And we came in on Monday. I exceeded my delta theta ratio during the day by quite a bit. So I ended up rolling my 1100s up to 1120. And then on Wednesday, we ended up adding in the 1140s. And then on Thursday, we were 21 days, Friday, we're 21 days to expiration. We're definitely pushing over some maximum delta numbers. So we started scaling into our 1160 position. So now we have 10 1120s, 10 1140s, 3 1160s. Our delta is right around minus 250 towards the end of the day here. And this is what the position looked like at 330. So we're down slightly. We're way under our theoretical numbers. All it has to happen, the market's going to stall and we'll be positive on this. So this is actually looking pretty good. And I believe that's everything we have for the day. So in short, we're kind of at a point in the market where we could go either way. We have great opportunity if the market does go up another 15 to 25 points. Extremely good bearish butterfly or shorting opportunity there. And all of our positions are feeling the extreme bullishness in the market, but they are all doing fine. So everything's looking good. All right, that's all I have for now. Thank you for watching, everybody, and we'll talk next week. Thank you and good night.